All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezer Show, your weekly rock news outlet where we try and figure out what's going on in this wacky rock world that we're living in. And I'm your host Murph, and by golly, yeah, we got some stories here. We got the Who's been in the news. We got to talk about that situation, and yes, it is a situation. Got some tour news coming up. Tour news, a couple of big old tours that. I know I'm going to be interested in at least one of them. And holy schmokums, man. Talk about a band name that's living up to the band that's living up to their name. This is a sick story we're going to get into. And another milestone for a band we're all familiar with. And we got to talk about this Firefest again, of course, because that's a never ending debacle, if you will. But, got all them stories to talk about. Can't do it by myself. Got to have my co host. That would be the man from Aurora, Illinois. That'd be Doc Box. What's going on, Doc?
Hey, doing quite well, doing quite well. Yes,
Yeah.
well, I'm lying. I'm not doing that great, but we'll fake it
Yeah.
and we'll go through it. Nah, I'm just
Yeah.
coming off the dentist this morning, man. You know how that
Ah,
goes. So yeah, whatever.
painkillers. Love them.
No, a few Advil, whatever. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, man, we got some decent little stories to get into, and yeah, man, there's stuff going on with the Who. It's as you said, a
oh,
situation.
oh boy. Yeah, let's get right into that because that's really something. The first thing that comes out, where are they? There they are right there. You got the Who and Zach in the background and whatnot. And, first of the week comes out here. This is from the good people of Enemy, headlining The Who reportedly fired drummer Zach Starkey following tension. Tension, please, at recent Royal Albert Hall gigs. It's a little acrimonious to say the least. Oh boy. And that's, Starkey got on social media and joked that Daltrey wanted to Zack the drummer instead of sack Zach. Pretty funny stuff there. So yeah, right, beginning of the week, yeah, the Who fired their longtime drummer, tension, blah blah, and they're doing a round of shows for the benefit there, the big benefit that goes on there. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
Teen Cancer Trust.
Right,
They
right, yeah,
had their.
yeah.
This is the same show where Daltrey had mentioned that he was going blind and deaf too. So
Ah, well, it
apparently a
went out.
pretty
The
eventful show.
wow. We'll talk about that. The spokesperson went on to add, they have nothing but admiration for him and wish him the very best for his future. And boy, oh boy, sources have added that the band had quote a few issues with the drumming, and the standard wasn't as high as everybody wanted. So holy smokums! And he's been playing with them for like 30 years. So it's like, we're thinking, what the heck? And the problem was, Daltrey was having a problem. They complained that Starkey was overplaying at the Royal Albert Hall gig, and on March 30th, the one gig, and then Daltrey right in front of the audience, he says, "To sing that song, I do need to hear the K, and I can't. All I've got is drums going boom, boom, boom. I can't sing to that. I'm sorry, guys." Well, and right away, I think to myself, well, number one, that's BS because apparently Starkey plays they look like electronic drums these days look like real drums. A lot of the real high quality sets look like real drums. Back in the day, they just a flat pad, look you
Right,
could
right.
tell,
A little
but they look like real.
octagon,
But
octagonal. Yeah.
orthogonal things. Yeah, and but now the drums look fairly real, and but apparently he plays an electronic drum. So the problem that Daughtry has with his monitors is not the drummer's fault. The guy
Right.
behind the board could turn him down to nothing, and Daltrey wouldn't hear any drums, not a little peep. So, I think that here we talk about this so much, Doc. Here's a band that should have just, enough already. Enough. You're going deaf, you're going blind. Oh, yeah, let's go out and tour. He's got to have kids, I imagine. Don't you have kids and grandkids you want to enjoy? I say that all the time. But geez, all right already. So in any case, so that's the first of the week. Oh, they got rid of Zach Starkey. Of course, he's the son of Ringo. Ringo probably, I imagine, I could see Zach calling Ringo, Dad, I lost my gig. What the hell? And Ringo would go, You'll find something else, son. Yeah. Just like he did in the cartoon. But so we're all, I'm like, well, it's about, go away, who, I'm sorry, but enough is enough. But no, later on, what was like 2 or 3 days later, Doc? Later on, Pete Townsend comes out and says Zach Starkey is still a member of the Who. Zach is not being asked to step down. So, what is going on here, Doc? What do you
No, he
think,
was
man?
asked to step down. So yeah, he's. I hadn't realized that. Been with the band for 29 years, so that would make him the longest tenured drummer, right?
Oh,
Kenny
I'm
Jones
sure.
wasn't around that long then, and obviously Keith Moon wasn't around that long. So, but yeah, they said he was overplaying. So Daltrey wanted to fire him. I guess he got fed up with him, and then they come out in the wash to yeah, it's through the monitors, and it wasn't the drummer's fault at all. And then they asked him back, but so Daltrey's got a little egg on his face, but yeah,
Well, and Zach had surgery apparently on one of his legs, blood clot or something. So one of his legs was screwed up, but I don't know. At one point, Townsend writes, Roger and I would like Zach to tighten up his latest evolved drumming style to accommodate our non orchestral lineup, and he has readily agreed.
what does
I
that
take,
mean non-orchestral? Isn't everything unless you have an orchestra, which is
this
rare?
is the Who.
That's an odd way to put it. A
What's, yeah.
non-orchestral,
Well, he's in orchestra. They're probably
or is
getting
that a
tired of
term I'm
him.
unaware of? I don't know.
They play with the orchestra. They're probably tired of Townsend smashing the oboes and the bassoons, if you will. But what a weird thing, such an odd, odd sentence. Zach would like to tighten up his latest evolved drumming style to accommodate our non-orchestral lineup. So you got no orchestra. You means he's got to go insane, like Moon would have. What? You know,
Dude, that was one of the first things I thought of when I saw that he getting him for overplaying. Like what? Yeah,
oh, but,
Moon never
oh
overplayed. Come on, man.
no.
You know.
What the hell? I don't get it. But what I do get, Doc, and you know me, man. When it comes to time, just walk away. And who can't, for crying out loud? I
Well,
haven't seen.
their first final tour was in the early '80s, so you
Jeez,
could have seen their final tour, had a full career, retired,
and
and
still
now
see
here
them.
they're still
They're
going.
still
You know.
going. That's
Yeah.
yeah. They should just. Well, they. I don't know. You know how I feel about that. Apparently, I haven't seen it, but according to the comments, Daltrey's voice is gone. So aside from being deaf and blind, he's going to be dumb pretty soon with his
Yeah,
voice.
maybe
So
he's
yeah,
going
he'll be
full
the
Tommy. Yeah.
full Tommy man. But just retire, for crying out loud. The magic's gone. Like I say, I saw him. I think in '76 when Moon was still alive. That was great. Then I saw him again a few years later with Kenny Jones, and they had the horn section or something because they were doing quadrophenia. It's like this is not, no, no.
Right.
It was fun, but sorry. And now I can imagine it's like an old folks home, you know, up there. So whatever. I don't know, Doc. Get tired of these old rock stars who just won't call it quits. And Kevin, what's his
And
name?
they were the very ones that sang "I hope I die before I
Hope
get
I die.
old."
There are a
And
lot of
there you
comments.
go.
A lot of comments about that one. Oh yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
comments say that. Yeah, yeah.
I've seen a lot of
But
comments. Meet the old boss, same as the new boss, or new boss, old
but
boss. Yeah.
does Roger look like a grandmother yet? I mean, all these big rock singers end up looking like somebody's old aunt or grandma. Like Kevin
Right.
Cronin, Steven Tyler. They all look like somebody's aunt. So just stop it before you look like someone's aunt. Get a proper haircut. Look normal. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen, but proper haircut. Yeah, look at me talking about proper haircuts. Boom. But the Who, geez, they should have given it up. They were not. I've got the early stuff, obviously. Live at Leeds was a stunningly good live album. Just brutal. Entwisle's bass playing was like a freight train, but four lead instruments going at one time, and I can't even imagine what it would be like now. There's no nostalgia there. It's like, wow,
Yeah, no, there's no, yeah,
no force, no.
there's no
I mean,
balls, there's no,
oh
yeah.
man. But, I don't know. They need the money or the fame. I don't know what it is. All the same. Moving on, though. Here we go. Got some concerts coming up. That's got mentioned starting up there. Nuns and Moses playing with Motley Crue. Holy smokums. The final. It was Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses announce the epic final joint tour. Okay, so this isn't the final tour of these guys, just the final time they get together. Boy,
You know
that's
what? That's
whoop
how
de
I
doo.
read that. Good call, Murph. That's how I read that. Now you look later in the article and they say, yeah, it's the final for both of them. But the way that reads is final joint tour, or
Joint
is the
tour. Yeah.
final time the two are going to get together. That's
Yeah.
bad grammar, I think. There
Yeah,
is what
so
we
so
got.
so so later, so it is the final tour from both. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
okay?
they're saying,
Well,
yeah,
I hope,
that's
and
they're
that
claiming.
stick to it. Go out with a freaking bang.
Well, anybody
Gee.
that believes it, first of all, is like, yeah, it could be. But you flip a coin. You got 50-50 shot. It might be, it might not be. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the joint statement the band say we've shared stages, stories, and decades of music with each other. This tour is for the fans and the diehards who've been with us from day one. Like how I went from English to Hill Rod there. We're going out loud, wild, and unforgettable. Well, I hope so. Because, I saw the Motley Crue's final concert tour. Yeah, like
A
10
couple tours
years
ago.
ago. Long time ago, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, that's been a while. So there they go. Them and Nuns and Moses. Yeah, yeah. Guns and Roses. And I don't know. I'm still not going because, of course, they're going to storied, legendary Soldiers Field. Yeah,
Yeah.
hey there,
Over by
Soldiers
there.
Field
Yeah.
over the south side there. Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to go there. No, no. Too bad. But I can do without them.
Yeah, it's a little surprising actually that they'll fill that. I mean, yeah, in 1989, yeah, no doubt that would have been the biggest tour on the freaking planet, man. But now, I don't know, but I guess so. They'll fill Soldier Field. We'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
they probably will. They won't be doing a second night, but they'll probably fill it up
Got
most of
yeah, it's
those.
called the Final Descent tour, and hitting 20 cities. Of course, one on being good old Chicago.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, no,
26.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
I
not
can do
interested
it.
in
I
going
can
to
do without
Soldier
it.
Field for that. Yeah.
If I was up close and personal, I would just to watch them all lip sync
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
shit.
saying. Smaller venue, possibly, but yeah, Soldier Field. Nah, I'll pass.
Well, it'd be fun to watch them lip sync. Jeez. And I found out, yeah. And Guns N' Roses, apparently Axel's got like 50% of everything. So what a wild
I'm
situation that
surprised it's
is.
only 50%. Quite
Wow.
honestly,
Really? No.
well, because he had pretty much everything at one point. I mean, I don't know, maybe with the reunions, and he's kind of made some wheeling and dealing and giving up some percentages, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
no,
thought he had
man.
more than that. But
Well, here we go with the schlock. The upcoming tour will feature full headlining sets from both bands, including deep cuts and all-time favorites. Fans can expect pyrotechnics, larger than life stage productions, and a night packed with adrenaline fueled performances. According to close sources close to the production, the stage will be a multi-level monster of lights and fire designed to honor both bands' outrageous live reputation. So, yeah, it's a good idea, Doc. They could put Tommy Lee on some kind of like roller coaster, and his drum set can go up above the band and do all sorts of weird. Oh wait, they did that on the tour I saw them on. Never mind.
yeah,
Yeah, geez, what? She's schmucks.
I saw him probably a tour or two before the one you saw him on, and yeah, they definitely do a good show, man. It's a good time, no doubt. But yeah, yeah, a lot of like you said, you mentioned a lot of their little gimmicks have been kind of played out, but yeah, we'll see, man.
Story Detroit.
It's a
Yeah,
co-headlining tour, right? So it's one
yeah.
night. They take turns
Well, we'll
co-headlining, I
see.
believe.
We'll
Yeah.
see. Speaking of that, speaking of the headline in the tour, here we got another one. By golly, that would be none other Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. Wow, they're coming to Tinley Park, so that's what I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's actually on a Sunday too, so I probably won't be gigging. So yeah, we're gonna go check that sucker out. And I saw this tour. It was the Operation Rock and Roll tour. Uh, boy, it was Judas Priest. They were oh gosh, that one album, that really good album, Painkiller. They were on. It was a Judas Priest Painkiller tour. It was Operation Rock and Roll. It was Bad Religion, Metal Church, Alice Cooper, and Judas Priest. We had front row for that sucker. I spent some
Nice.
cash for that sucker. Took a limousine there. It was the
Oh,
most
wow. Did it
expensive
right, huh?
concert I went to. Yeah, yeah. We took a limo there. We had front row. Ugh. And of course, this time I'll be out in the lawn, which will be fine. It'll be fine. Judas Priest, Jiminy Creepers. They're missing their double guitarist attack. Again, they should have called it. They should have called it. Once they didn't have either of the original guitarists, KK or Glenn, they should have just called it. Jeez. And
But Alfred's a metal god.
uh,
I don't know.
yeah. Gosh. Uh, boy, oh boy. And
Speaking of Judas Priest,
well,
before I
well,
forget,
but yes, deeply saddened, right?
deeply sad, yeah, the passing of Les Binks,
Les
the
Binks,
drummer.
Lester Binks, by golly, yeah, yeah. Judas Priest. They mention we are deeply saddened about the passing of Les and send our love to his family, friends, and fans. The acclaimed drumming he provided was first class. I agree with that, boy. Demonstrating his unique techniques, flair, style, and precision. Thank you, Les. Your acclaim will live on. Yeah, yeah. I
He
think
was
he
on that
played on
late
the live.
'70s stuff, right? On
He was on
2, 3 albums there.
Stained
Yeah,
Class, and I'm pretty sure he was on the live album, Unleashed in the East. And
yeah,
that's a balls to the wall album there, man.
oh,
Wahoo!
yeah.
So
Yeah, he
way to
got
go,
inducted into
Les.
the Hall of Fame with
Yes,
him,
he
so,
did. He
yeah,
got his trophy.
yeah.
So well done, Les Binks. And Alice Cooper. Yeah, he's playing with Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper. Boy, I wonder what he's going to do this time. I believe when we saw him, he chopped his head off. I believe. I saw him a couple of times. I think I
Yes,
saw him.
yeah, yeah,
I
because
saw him.
I'd seen him before he had done the hanging, so I hadn't
Yeah,
seen the guillotine, so now I'd seen both, yeah, like, when we
I
saw
saw
him, it
him
was
in
the guillotine.
1988. I think we saw him. It was actually our anniversary. Oh, saw him in 1988, and I can't remember who the hell. All I remember is Winger opened for him. Winger. And yeah, that or no, he had Winger play bass for him. That's right.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's right, yeah,
he
Kip
had
Winger
what's
was
his
his bass
name with
player, yeah.
the flaming guitar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The dude, muscular guitarist with flaming guitar. But oh, it was crazy good. And speaking of that,
Kane
unbelievably,
Roberts.
Kane Roberts, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper headlines Enemy from the good people at Enemy. Alice Cooper to release his first album with the original band in over 50 years. Going to be called The Revenge of Alice Cooper. And holy smoke, it's the first LP from the original guys since
Well, the
'73's
guys that are
Muscle
still
of Love.
around.
Well,
I
there's
think we
one of them that
lost, what,
isn't.
Glenn Buxton, I think we
I
lost?
believe that's who it was. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Bruce still there. Dennis Dunaway, drummer Neil Smith. So there you go, man.
Right,
And
right, right, okay.
all that, boy, and of course, they'll, that'll be cool. Boy, that group put out some really
Yeah,
crazy
I'll have to
cool
get that
stuff,
one. I haven't got any of his,
man.
I stopped getting his stuff, I don't know, up through the '70s, maybe early '80s, and then I kinda died off of Alice's,
Oh yeah,
catalog,
yeah.
but, yeah, I
Well,
had to get this
I
one just with
stopped
the
after I think gosh, Muscle of Love. I think the Muscle of Love is where I cut the cord, if you will. Thank you. Cut the cord, yeah. But those first albums before that were enough for my palate. I didn't need any more. I mean, it was so good, And once the stuff starts declining a little bit, then I lose interest. Case in point, Genesis. They were so good when they were totally progressive. Then he started doing that AM radio crap,
yeah.
and I just
Yeah, they
sorry.
were a totally different band, yeah, they really were.
Yeah. So and same thing. So we'll see. But good for Alice. Alice just won't stop, man. He just can't stop. It's so good. It's so so bad to the bone. That's our Alice. Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait to see him for one thing. So yeah, yeah. And moving on, Doc. Oh, jeez. These schmucks. Where are they? These dope. These guys, they're called the new pornographers. Although they actually, let's face it, these cats look like somebody's who coming in to redo your house, right? Gonna make over a house makeover. They're gonna come in and make over your house. But no, no, they're the new pornographers. And sadly, they're living up to their name because on Monday, April 7th, that was just like what, last week or so, a couple weeks ago, deputies assigned at a Palm Desert Sheriff Station were dispatched to a suspicious circumstance in the 73,000 block of Dinah Shore Drive. Dinah Shore Drive. How about that?
Oh, there's a
Woo-hoo.
name, yeah.
In the Palm Desert, Dinah Shore. Ooh, ooh. She was a dish when she was younger. Now she's about 120. The report read, upon arrival, deputies spoke with an 11-year-old male who stated an unknown male adult recorded him on a cell phone while he was using the restroom at the location. This scummy
Said a
dirtbag
Chick-fil-A.
swine. What was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. 2 days later, authorities received another call from the same location.
Yeah.
I don't even want to read it. It's sick. Needless to
So
say,
apparently he's hanging out at this Chick-fil-A, and when little boys go in the bathroom, he follows them in there and take pictures of them. Yeah, this is their drummer. His name's Joe Siders, Seiders.
scumbag.
And yeah, and then of course
Oh,
once that came by, his band cut ties with him immediately. He's got $1 million bond.
oh
Then
my
obviously they
God.
had a search warrant. They got all his computers and all that, and found more stuff, which
Yeah.
shocking, but
Oh, jeez.
yeah. How
Oh,
ironic, man. The guys in a
yeah.
band called the
I
New
think it's time to change their
Pornographers,
name.
and is a
If they,
freaking child
well,
porno.
they better
I've heard
change
of
their
them. They've
name.
been around for I don't know, late '90s, maybe something like
Well, it
that. They
looks
play them
like
on
they're old as
XRT once in a
shit.
while, but
One guy's
yeah.
trying to have a decent beard, but he's failing miserably. Douchebag. Nice hair, too. New porno guy. I wonder which one is the porno guy. I don't even care. He's in prison, state or
I would
federal.
say the guy in the furthest back, he looks like a maybe not. I
Oh,
don't know, but
yeah, yeah. That guy right
yeah, that's
there.
the guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right there, you son of a
He can't even
biatch.
look at the camera straight. He's got to look off in it.
Oh my gosh. And officers believe there may be additional victims. Actually, let me see. They got his picture here. It looks like
Oh, there's
it
no
is
doubt. It's not the first time, and he got
this guy
no
right
doubt.
here. Yeah, it looks like this guy right here. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
he can't look at the camera either.
Got
So
a picture here on the New York Post thing here. So yeah, and according to the band, everybody in the band is absolutely shocked, horrified, and devastated by the news of the charges against Joe Siders. And we have immediately severed all ties with him. Our hearts go out to everyone who has been impacted by your actions. Yeah, now change your name, you dumb.
they pretty much have to. How can
Maybe
you
the
carry that
new,
name
yeah,
around
no,
now
not it.
after this?
Like the new dumbasses, just for even having the name in the first place.
You
How
know,
about the new
he's not an
dumbasses?
original member. I think he joined the band like mid 2000s or something, and
Oh,
early
gosh.
teens maybe or something.
And
But
they just had a single
nonetheless, man,
drop. Yeah, they just dropped a single on April 2nd. And oh, God. Man.
recording a minor in a public restroom, dude. What
I, I,
what
I,
what what
I,
urge could possibly come over you where you think that's a good idea, and you repeatedly do it, even after he was caught? That he
well, that
went
is a
back to the
sick, sick
same place,
soul.
the same Chick-fil-A, and kept doing it.
No, no, he should probably be spending the rest of his life in jail because somebody like that, they're not. I would guess they're not going to stop. If you watch
No,
CSI
and there's
Miami or
something else
something,
going on,
oh,
man.
he'll
Yeah,
never stop. So he probably won't. Like you say, they caught him once and he still went back there. Yeah, go to jail. Just go to jail and stay there, you scumbag. Jeez, as a guy with plenty of grandkids and whatnot, and kids, really scumbags like that, just go stay in jail. It'll be fine. It'll be fine in jail. They'll treat you like $1 million.
Go tell
Don't
your
worry
story in
about
there. Yeah.
it. Treat you like $1 million, and man, that's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. Yeah, Lincoln Park, Lincoln Park, and in the news. Where are they? There, where are they? Hey, there they are, Lincoln Park. Yeah, yeah. By golly, that video in the end is the name of it. Uploaded in 2009. Boy, uh, incredible. We talk about the Billion Club. You know how the Billion Club is a big deal. Well, that video in the end, it just reached 2 billion views. Holy smokums! How you about that, man? Oh man, that's jeez. I knew it was a good song, but I didn't know it was that good. Jeez, what do you think about that, Doc?
I think that was like the start of the downfall of rock, to be honest with you. That's like kind of the start of I don't know, that crybaby rock, like what I call it. I try
Yeah,
so hard, but it doesn't matter. Just shut the fuck. You know what?
every
Come on, man.
song.
Quit your whining.
Yeah, I've talked
And then
about this
just got
before.
to there's now that's what there's genres basically around that poor
Uh,
me, ethos. But yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I
it's always
suppose the new generation, they're probably, I don't know, pick what band from our generation would be equal to that. I don't know, but Van Halen maybe. I don't know, but yeah,
uh,
I don't know. They're popular amongst that generation. I don't get it. Damn kids and
well,
MTV.
yeah. But two billion views. Jeez. I
Yeah,
tried
pretty
so
crazy,
hard, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. No, it does matter. Stop listening to this depressing crap. Jeez,
right?
and like all their songs are very formulaic, and I'm not into formulaic.
The
And
worst one, man. That oh god, with 21 Pilots. Oh, my mommy was sing us to sleep. We're stressed out. And it was like the biggest. It was like a Grammy-winning song. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me, man. Come on, stop the crybaby
oh,
rock.
well, it hurts, man. Crybaby rock, crying out loud. Ugh. Someday maybe it won't matter anymore. In the end, it doesn't really matter their music. I've come to the sad conclusion, Doc, and I'm sure this is totally against grain. But another person who I think is going to wind up in the dustbin of time, along with Disco Duck and all those other goofy songs, is going to be the very own Frank Zappa. I haven't
Say it
heard.
ain't so. Say it.
I know.
What are you saying?
Well, I haven't heard shit from him forever. He's just like what do you call it? Like a novelty act, in a musical novelty act. I don't see history being easy on him. In another
Well, he was
50
never
years.
commercial, so it's not like he was played on the radio or anything. I mean, other than back when they actually had DJs playing what they wanted to play, it's slapping some Zappa, but
But yeah, it was just I don't know.
and
I just think that
pre-programmed post what was that, the Telecommunications Act in '96 that Bill Clinton signed to end up ruining rock and roll.
oh
But
man. Yeah, I just think, man, I thought about it. Like, God, I haven't, I've got Zappa, I've got some Zappa, Shake Your
oh, I
Booty,
got
and
tons of
some of the
Zappa, man.
classic Zappas, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I never even get the hankering to listen. So, I think he's just, I don't know why I thought about that. It came up in my thought processes, but I was like, Zappa. I just think he's gonna end up like Rick D's Disco Duck, and the people just a
Oh my God!
novelty type
Don't
of
say
thing.
that.
No,
Yeah, other than yeah, people probably look at him through the Valley Girl thing, yeah, with Moon, yeah, that novelty song, but yeah,
and,
definitely that was
I'm thinking future generations, like we could lay out some Frank Sinatra and just it'd be great. But I think future generations, couple generations from now, will be putting hearing Zapp and saying, "What did he say? What's that?" It ain't gonna make any sense to them. It made sense to us because we were children of the '70s, and we did certain things that made things make
It was
sense
the
to
culture,
us.
yeah, at the time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Wow.
I think Weasel's out there
Wow.
still playing some of the
Uh,
stuff, and
yeah,
there
yeah,
were
he
some
is
legal
keeping it
issues with
alive,
that,
but
but yeah.
it's just very bizarre. Most of the stuff you can't dance to.
Even doing my, you say that, and I think about, yeah, I used to listen to more Zappa than I do now. You're right. He's like he's more in the rotation and more, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. You never hear him on the classic rock stations. I got a
no,
couple
no,
of them on a
no.
band, and they'll never play him because, like you say, yeah, he wasn't radio friendly in that sense. But I just think it's very odd. It was a very odd band. Were damn good, man. Ruth Underwood, she was so good, man. He had a lot of good players, and they had to know their shit. That's for one thing. You couldn't be a slacker musician in Zappa's band. But you know, I just think he's toast. And you know what else is toast, Doc? Oh, how about that
Well, he's been,
segue?
when did he die? 94, I think. So 30 years. So yeah, he's kind of,
Yeah.
falling off. I mean,
Oh, segue. Boom. Psh. Here's toast for you right there. That we talked about this forever. The Fire 2 Festival. By golly, this schmuck, this scam artist Billy McFarland, and of course the first Fire Festival was a total mess. So he says, "Okay, I'm going to do it again," and you can see where he posted it, 2025, May 30th to June 2nd. He posted the coordinates, but according to Enemy headline, Fire Festival 2 ticket holders react after last minute cancellation. Billy McFarland
shocking.
must really love and miss prison. A co-headline: No lineup, limited permits, mystery logistics, and the same showrunner who brought you cheese sandwiches in FEMA tents. This is unbelievable. These people, people must have actually bought tickets. With Fire Fest 2 officially postponed, many have taken to social media to share their lack of surprise. Less than 2 months before it was due to take place, Firefest 2 was put on ice earlier this week. Initially, a schedule was going to take place from May 30th to June 2nd in Mexico. Tickets went on sale in February, and doubt was soon cast on the highly scrutinized, quote, sequel to 2017's infamously botched Firefest. Wow. Unreal. We knew this was going to happen. What's going Is he going to have to go back to prison again? I don't get this, man. Jeez, creepers.
Well, at least he had the sense to not try to pull it off this time and have people fly down to the island and everything go to shit. So at least he, had sense enough this time to not go that far. But yeah, I mean, anybody that, bought a ticket for this, they don't deserve a refund, quite honestly. But
Wow.
we knew it was coming.
Well, listen to this. News of the cancellation was first shared in an email to ticket holders and those who had signed up for the Fire Festival newsletter, with ABC later breaking the story publicly. In their notice to ticket holders, festival bosses wrote, "The event has been postponed and a new date will be announced. We have issued you a refund. Once the new date is announced, at that time, you can repurchase if it works for your schedule." So they're actually going to keep trying?
Sucker. But yeah,
Oh,
they don't say that
man.
part.
They're a sucker but born
Oh,
every minute.
Jesus.
Who said that? W.C. Fields. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, sucker
P.T.
born.
Barnum.
P.T. Barnum? Okay, good call.
Yeah.
W.C. Fields should have. And all the youngsters, they don't know who the hell we're talking about. But, it's just incredible. People are going to fall for this crap again. They deserve to lose their money if that's what. Or cheese sandwiches in FEMA tents. What the hell is going on with that? So, while nobody is surprised that the second iteration of the festival went south, many are shocked anyone bought tickets for a second time around. Holy cow. And of course, Billy McFarland
Can you
spent time
imagine
in
trying to talk your
prison.
buddies into doing that? Hey,
Oh,
remember that
man.
fire? Remember that one? They're doing it again, but this time they're really gonna do it, man. We should go.
Oh,
Come on.
God. This guy, yeah,
Who's
Billy
playing?
McFarland.
I don't know. They don't have anybody playing yet. They don't have any. They don't even know where it's gonna be. But dude, it's gonna happen, man. I tell you, man. Let's get tickets. Come on.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and he got released from prison in 2022 for the
Yeah.
first time for the massive screw up the first time. So this really,
And he's
jeez.
supposed to make retribution to like the people down there in where was it? Was it the Bahamas? Yeah, part of the Bahamas where he ripped those people off and just everybody that he ripped
Uh,
off. He's supposed to make some sort of retribution, but
oh
I
yeah,
guess this was a way of making the money, and that didn't work either. So I don't know.
man, that is just crazy. That is just whack. I don't get it. I just don't get it, man. People are dumb. People got too much money apparently somewhere.
Some people do, man.
I don't. That's for
I'm
damn
not one
sure.
of them, but yeah,
Man, oh man, oh man.
more
So
money
yeah,
than sense.
true. Yeah, I heard that, man. Freaking a. So yeah, I don't get it. Like I say, I just wish the Who would call it quits. They've done enough. Like when your quality falls that when you're known as an explosive band and you end up being a bunch of geriatrics out there. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's not nostalgia to me at that point. It's like sorrow. It's like, damn, look how sad they look now. When you remember them, and Townsend was still windmilling when I saw him back in '76 and shit. They were all still in prime form, and it's got to be horrible now. I guess it'd be like seeing Neil Young. It's like God, you know, it would be depressing when he's young, and now when he's old, really old. All these guys, I don't want to see him. It's not nostalgic for me. It's sadness, just to see
Well, as
how
far as
they
that goes, that reminds me
deteriorate.
of when we saw Bob Dylan, man. You know, or
Oh
just yeah,
man,
you
that
know,
was so sad.
it
Jeez.
was disappointing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I think he'll
But then
probably
on the other hand, there's times where it works out pretty good, like when we saw Brian Wilson, stuff like that. So you
that was
know, but
very cool. Yeah. Yeah, and then you get surprised by like Earth, Wind. Wow, we shouldn't have been. I wasn't, shouldn't have been surprised by Earth, Wind, and Fire. They just tore the place apart. But woo, 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 man, very cool. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. See what goes on in the coming week. Jeez, the Who one really took us for a loop because it just seems like Rogers just become the get off my lawn guy. Like me, get off my lawn. I'm blah. But we'll see what happens. See, I'm sure Zach will jump back in 30 years. Gosh, that's a full career for a 9 to 5er. So what the hell? Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been a good one. Been a weird one, man. I'm like, "Ugh." But nonetheless, very cool. Very cool subjects. Very cool. Why don't you take us home there, Doc?
yeah, another week in the books. And as you all know, or if you don't, we do this every single week, and we'll see what stories come up this following week, and we will talk about them next Monday. Certainly hope you join us. Tell a friend. Have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.